You ready? Green, green, green.
These drivers put on a great show
on every type of track.
driving these cars, banging off of each other.
Oh, he gets sideways. He's off the racetrack. There he goes, trying to make the pass. If you're a driver trying to get in, you get little opportunities like that. Watch how hard these guys are going to drive.
Checkered flag in the air.
Checkered flag there, champion.
Season winding down, just 3 races remain in the 2013 season. Next stop, New Hampshire Motor Speedway for the North American Power 100 for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East. Alongside Phil Parsons, I'm Rick Allen. Covering all the stories on pit road will be Derek Perniciglio. A gorgeous day here in Loudon, New Hampshire. 75 degrees and mostly cloudy skies, a slight breeze. But 40 points separating the top 2 in points. Dylan Kwasniewski still leading. Now let's go to Derek Perniciglio.
Cole Custer is on the pole today here at Loudon, his second career pole of his young career. And Cole, starting on the pole today, what is it about these big tracks that you like so much?
I mean, the guys just do an awesome job. It's a great car. We brought a brand new car, and it's an awesome job. The car is really good, and I got to thank Haas Automation and Gene Haas for getting us here. But it's just amazing being at New Hampshire on the pole. It's just a dream come true.
Now, since your win, you've had finishes outside the top 15. Is today a chance to get your season back on track?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, we've run really good at the big tracks, and we don't have any more short tracks left, so we're thinking to start moving up in the points right now.
Keep an eye on this 00 car today. He likes running these big tracks.
And a lot of eyes are going to be on Cole Custer, Nationwide and Cup Series here for this triple header weekend, Phil.
Hey, let's take a look at what it's going to take to be successful here at this racetrack. First thing, you want to be good on exit. Long straightaways here. You got to be able to get that power down. Stay on top of the tires. Do not abuse these tires, even though we're going to have a halftime break. And be good on restarts. A lot of restarts at this place. You can win and lose races on these restarts.
Extremely important. A very flat racetrack. You've got to get that track position as early as possible. But perfect weather for today's race. 100 laps scheduled for these young drivers trying to take on Loudon, New Hampshire and the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. When we come back, the engines will be fired. We'll see the green flag. And welcome back. The car's rolling around New Hampshire Motor Speedway as we get ready for 100 laps from Loudon, New Hampshire. And this is the North American Power 100. For more storylines that's taking place today, let's go back into the pits and Derek Perniciglio.
Well, guys, twin 50-lappers are very common in the short track racing world, and that's exactly the mindset that the crews went into today. You run hard for the first 50 laps, go to the halfway break, make the changes on the car, and run hard for the last 50 laps. So you don't have to worry about fuel strategy, you don't have to worry about conserving tires. Just let it eat, drop the hammer, and go. It's going to be a sprint race right from the drop of the green.
Thanks, Derek. Here's your starting lineup. Cole Custer. This has got to be bad for the other competitors because the last time Cole Custer started on the pole, he ended up in victory lane.
Yeah, Iowa dominated that race, but Dylan Kwasniewski, our point leader, on the outside of the front row.
Matt Tift making up the top of the second 10 drivers. Johnny Van Dorn back there in the 20th starting spot.
See, Corey Joseph will make his debut here in the K&N Series. He starts back in the 29th spot.
Those are your 30 starting drivers as they come out of turn number 4. Cole Custer, Dylan Kwasniewski, 1 and 2. Custer on the inside, waiting for that green flag. It goes in the air. We're underway.
Looked like Dylan Kwasniewski had a bit of an advantage early and may have backed off to allow the double Z to get in front of him. I know Dylan would like to get that lead, get that point locked down early.
Cole Custer out in front. Dylan Kwasniewski in a battle now for the second spot.
That's Daniel Suarez, that 6th car in the second spot. Man, has he been on a tear here the last 5 races or so.
And Suarez takes second away from Dylan Kwasniewski. Now Kwasniewski looks back to the inside as he's not settling for second.
Dylan was here last year and ran this race and finished with the top 5 in just a handful of starts in the East.
Now the top 4 have spread out. Back there in the 4th spot is the 47, driven by Cale Conley.
That's the 97 of Jesse Little that peeked to the inside of Cale Conley for just a moment. About a 3-4 car length lead now for Cole Custer.
Custer strong early on. Phil, you mentioned in your storyline, stay on top of tires. Can you wear your tires out early in this one?
I don't think you can wear them out, but you can certainly abuse them and make them mad. You don't want to spin those tires. We talk about that getting off the corner well. You don't want to get loose, spin those tires off the corner, and make those tires mad.
Cole Custer has been dominant here. Fastest in both practices, wins qualifying, and now out front trying to separate himself from the top two. And now the battle for second heating up as Dylan Kwasniewski works to the inside of Daniel Suarez.
Great run off the corner that time for Dylan Kwasniewski. He made that pass at the exit of turn number 2, finished it in turn number 3.
Kwasniewski now moves up to the second spot. Suarez holding on to third. Great battle for fifth back here between Jesse Little and McKenna Bell.
And McKenna Bell coming off a solid top 5 finish at Greenville last time out.
Eddie McDonald tucked in just behind them in that 71 as those two stay side by side.
Yeah, Eddie McDonald is one of only two former winners here at this racetrack in the field today. Brett Moffitt the other.
Eddie McDonald from Rowley, Massachusetts, so close to hometown for him.
And there's Brett Moffitt, the other former winner here at this racetrack, right behind Eddie, as Eddie jumps to the inside now of Jesse Little.
McDonald trying to take the spot away from Little. Out in front, it's Cole Custer holding on to that top spot. McKenna Bell staying in front of Eddie McDonald.
Eddie was able to make that pass on Jesse Little. Now the 11 of Brett Moffitt has the 97 of Jesse Little in his sights.
Good battles early on for position in the top 10. Cole Custer checking out. Little slide there as he came out of turn 4.
See, it's the 4th race that he's led this season, and man, has he been good on the big tracks. We've talked about it earlier, but he was great at Richmond with a top 5 finish, had a top 5 at Iowa first time, and then dominated the second race at Iowa.
Looking strong here once again. Jesse Little staying in front of that 11 of Brett Moffitt.
Cole has to be looking forward to going to our next race, which is Dover for the series. Another big fast track.
Brett Moffitt still running in the tire tracks of Jesse Little. Eddie McDonald just in front of them, and McKenna Bell in front of Eddie McDonald.
Right now, Dylan Kwasniewski running up in the top 3. If somebody's going to make a move on Dylan Kwasniewski, they're going to have to do it pretty soon with only 3 races remaining.
Yeah, trying to separate himself and capitalize on the poor runs that his closest competitors have had, as we see Gray Galding making the move now to the inside of Dylan Presnell.
Yeah, Dylan actually is only making his 2nd start of the year, but good solid run so far up in the top 10.
Field single file as the battle for 9th begins to heat up. Presnell has that spot. Gray Galding, yellow stripe on the bumper there indicating rookie status.
Another one of our very talented 15-year-olds here in the series. Cole Custer, 15 years old. Gray Galding, 15 years old. It's amazing the young talent here in NASCAR.
And we've even got another 15-year-old, Trey Hutchins, also in the number 15, is 15 years old in this field.
Trey making his 2nd start here in the series. Made a start earlier at Langley Field.
There's the gap between 1 and 2. In front of this field, it's Cole Custer. Dylan Kwasniewski still chasing, but in that 2nd spot. Be a comfortable day for Dylan Kwasniewski to finish up in the top 5, maybe get another win. As I mentioned, only 3 races remain in the 2013 season, this being one of them. Cole Custer out front. Welcome back to the North American Power 100 under caution. Got a couple cars stalling on the racetrack, one of those being Johnny Van Dorn, the other being Austin Dine. Let's take a look back. There's the smoke from under the hood of that number 1.
Yeah, Andy Santerre was actually here on the pit box for Johnny Van Dorn, but short day for him.
Also having issues on the track, the 99 of Austin Dine. A lot of smoke rolling out from underneath that car.
It's one of the Turner Scott Motorsports entries.
So the field lines back up 2 by 2 in front of the field. Cole Custer on the inside. Dylan Kwasniewski on the outside. Green flag back in the air. We're back underway.
Remember, we talked about being good on the restarts, and it looked like Cole Custer was very good on that restart.
Little contact there. You see the speedy dry coming up from behind the 00 of Cole Custer. Contact in turns 1 as they're going in. Dylan Kwasniewski able to hold it straight as he gets through 1 and 2.
Yeah, Daniel Suarez on the inside in that 6th car made some contact with Kwasniewski, and he's going to actually pay the price now. He's dropped back to the 5th spot.
Now fighting for the position with Eddie McDonald in the 71. Cale Conley in that 47 able to move up into the 3rd spot.
Nice restart by that 15-year-old Cole Custer there. You see a lot of the speedy dry on this racetrack.
Move to the inside, that 34 of Kinsey Rustin. trying to make some moves as Dylan Kwasniewski goes around, battling for the lead with Cole Custer. He slides and's up against the wall. Oh, and more contact. Hard contact from the inside.
Wow, the two of Ryan Gifford made significant contact. It looked like Dylan had never locked the brakes down. He was creeping down. You see Brandon Jones in the 33 car, among other cars involved. But it looked like he was creeping down off the wall, and I'm not sure these guys thought he was going to come down off the wall.
Ryan Gifford, a lot of damage to the front end of that race car. You see the 98 of Dylan Kwasniewski destroyed. The window net is down. That's always a great sign when we see that.
Yeah, it certainly is. You can see him moving around in the car, and we talked about somebody making a move on him in the points, and that's not how anyone wanted to make a move on him.
Points leader Dylan Kwasniewski involved in this accident happening on lap 34.
Good to see Ryan Gifford. That was an awfully hard impact for Ryan Gifford. Good to see him out of his car as well.
You know, Ben Kennedy got a little piece of this. Brian Ortiz also involved.
There's Ben Kennedy's Chevrolet right there. You see him moving around in the car also.
Rafael Vallina also involved in this incident in the 0 car.
We haven't seen much impact like that in quite a while here in this series. See Dylan walking a little gingerly there, and
you see Ryan Gifford came over to make sure he was okay.
I would dare say that's probably the hardest hit that young man has ever had in his career.
Yeah, just 18 years old out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Dylan Kwasniewski, our points leader, and you see the frustration now. It looked as though he had that thing saved, barely made contact with the wall, but as you mentioned, let it come down the racetrack.
Let's take another look at it. You see he's on the inside. Cole Custer doing nothing wrong. He made just a slight bit of contact, and it looked like when it did, it turned his car to the left, and around he went here. You see him have the brakes locked down. He's going to make slight contact with the outside wall, and then it looks like he lets off the brakes for an instant, and it just didn't leave enough room for Ryan Gifford in the 2 car and the 96 of Ben Kennedy.
You know, Phil, in Dylan's defense, I mean, the caution had come out when he was sideways like this. These guys need to be checking up.
You see Cale Conley drive around here. You see now Jesse Little's going to turn. They were just jammed up there, and it looked like the two, doesn't look like the two even knew that he was up there. And at the last instant, he tried to turn down underneath him. Let's see if we can see it again. You see the two is about 10, 12 cars back. This is actually an aftermath. This is going on at the same time, a separate incident.
Yeah, as that happened coming out of 2, the incident back in the middle of 1 and 2 taking place. So a lot of drivers involved in this accident, which took place on lap 34.
You know, the secondary accident could have been because somebody had their spotter tell them that there was something going on off of 2, and somebody may have jumped out of the throttle, and that may have caused that secondary incident.
So they're going to take the destroyed number 98 back into the pit area. While they do that, let's head back into the garage and Derek Perniciglio.
Ryan Gifford was one of the drivers that was involved in that hard wreck on the back straightaway. But from your point of view, can you tell us what happened?
Everything happened kind of quick. You know, everybody kind of spun there off the corner, and I didn't see what happened beforehand, but I guess Dylan was sitting there sideways in the middle of straightaway, and I hit him. But definitely one of the hardest wrecks I've had, and I just hate it for the guys because we had a really good car today. Had to start from the rear and was making good progress getting up through there, and then got in the big one. Unfortunately,
Ryan Gifford's day is done, guys.
We saw Kinsey Ruston also that had spun. She was on the inside before there was contact between Ryan Gifford, Ben Kennedy, and Dylan Kwasniewski.
And, of course, the mandatory trip to the infield care center for both Ryan Gifford and Dylan Kwasniewski. Kwasniewski also out of that infield care center, and he's now with Derek.
Well, Dylan Kwasniewski was involved in that heavy wreck on the back straightaway. Dylan, a hard shot. Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. You know, it's just a disappointing day. Just sucks. I mean, we had a 40-point leads going into this, and now, you know, it's going to get all screwed up. I don't know how it happened. You know, we had it saved, and then we got T-boned. So, I mean, it's just one of those things. We had a race-winning car. You know, just thanks to everyone at Turner Scott Motorsports, but it's just a disappointing day. Can't do anything about it.
You had a comfortable lead going into this race, but how will this finish affect your championship run?
We just got to keep doing what we're doing. I mean, you know, we were comfortable before, but we got to go in there and we got to give it our all now. I mean, we can't, you know, going into this, we didn't want to take any chances. And I saw an opening, tried going in there, and then we ended up just, you know, we got spun out, and then we got wrecked. I mean, I haven't seen the replay, so I don't know if, you know, it was just my fault from diving in there. But, you know, I'm just disappointed in myself for letting that happen.
Well, guys, it's a real tough day for Dylan Kwasniewski. You can hear the frustration in his voice.
Thanks, Derek. Dylan Kwasniewski, as he mentioned, coming in with a 40-point lead in this championship hunt. Now with just 2 races remaining, we'll find out what will end up being that point lead when he leaves here.
Well, the door is open for his competitors now, unfortunately.
North American Power 100 continues in just a moment. And welcome back. Now it's Cale Conley that'll start on the outside of Cole Custer as the cars are 2x2 once again coming out of turn number 4. Green flag back in the air.
A lot less cars in the field now after that big incident. You see Kinsey Rushton jump to the inside there before the start-finish line. I'm sure the NASCAR officials will look at that.
And with this being another race with a halfway break, are we racing for the final 10 laps here? Is it going to be right up on top of the wheel?
I think so. I think they would like to get this lead. Obviously, right here, Eddie McDonald is going for this lead.
McDonald on the inside of that 00 of Cole Custer. And McDonald's going to take the spot away. Here comes Cale Conley in the 47.
Boy, Cole Custer is very fortunate that Cale Conley gave him a break. Cale stuck his nose up in there. Cole Custer came down the racetrack. Cale backed off, and it's going to cost him a spot doing it.
What an impressive run by Eddie McDonald. Takes the lead away from Cole Custer. Cale Conley fighting for that 3rd spot. Now looks to take 2nd away from Custer.
Good move off exit for Cale Conley. Good grip off that corner. See what he can do when he gets down to turn 3.
Daniel Suarez, Brett Moffitt back there in the 4th and 5th position. Here comes McKenna Bell in the 21.
That's a 04 of Ronnie Bassett Jr., a lap car down on the inside, the black car.
3 wide, though, as they cross the stripe.
Kinsey Rushton is just coming off a pit road right now. She had to serve that penalty. We speculated that she jumped that start. NASCAR brought her down the pit road.
She tucks right in behind Eddie McDonald out in front of the field. Cale Conley has moved up into that 2nd spot.
Boy, a lot of stuff has gone on here right before this halftime break.
Eddie McDonald looking impressive out in front of the field now.
There's the 34 of Kinsey Rushton. She is now 1 lap down, but in position to get the lucky dog if the caution were to come out. We know the caution is going to come out in about 5 laps.
Cale Conley holding on to that 2nd spot. Kinsey Rushton running pretty strong right now, right behind her race leader, even though she is a lap down.
She just definitely wants to keep in contact with the leader. So we see Gray Gaulding, the 20, looks to the inside of Cole Custer for a moment. There's Dylan Presnell, the 26 on the outside.
Battle for the 6th spot. Cole Custer's dropped all the way back.
Sideways off of turn 4 too.
A very loose race car for Cole Custer. It will have to go to the attention of his crew chief. And Eddie McDonald is into the wall.
It looked like he cut down a right front tire, Rick. I was watching Eddie McDonald. What a horrible break for Eddie.
Race leader Eddie McDonald into the wall.
See MS Society on the quarter panel of that 71 car. Eddie looking for his 4th win here at Loudon, and it's going to come up short.
A lot of damage to the right side of that car. As you mentioned, looked as though that right front went away on him.
Yeah, I guarantee you no warning for Eddie McDonald, because these tires will last well beyond the 50 laps they're required to run here for the halftime. There it is. You can see it go down right there. He does his best to get that car stopped, but nothing he could do about it.
So Eddie McDonald into the wall as your race leader, and now climbing out of that car. He will also have to make that mandatory trip to the infield care center.
Yeah, good to see him out of that car too. That was a pretty significant contact with a safer barrier.
He wants to take a look at the right front of that car, knowing that the right front tire went away on him.
Yeah, there's really nothing left of the right front, unfortunately. He's going to look it to the inside, see if maybe there was a tire rub on the inside, maybe a tie rod or a sway bar arm, but you wouldn't have that tire rub running that many laps.
NASCAR has decided that this will be the halftime break, so we'll take a quick break. Be right back to Loudon, New Hampshire. And the field 2x2 once again. Cale Conley will be on the inside of Daniel Suarez as we get ready for the restart of the North American Power 100. A very eventful first half of this one. Green flag back in the air.
See the 21 of McKenna Bell a little bit slow on the restart. Brett Moffitt peeked to the inside just for a moment to see about making it 3 wide.
Had a great start. Brett Moffitt back in 3rd now. Daniel Suarez able to clear him. Hold on to that 2nd spot. Cale Conley out in front of this field.
Great battle for 4th between McKenna Bell, the 21, Cole Custer, the 00. Cole has position on the inside. There's Gray Galding, the 20, right behind that side-by-side battle.
Once again, a little bobble by the 00 of Cole Custer, trying to find the handling as he works to get by that 21 of McKenna Bell.
Almost a little bit of contact there. McKenna was squeezing him down just a little bit. Cole has the spot.
Here comes Gray Galding in the 20, looking to the inside of McKenna Bell now in the 21.
Battle for the lead.
How about this battle? Daniel Suarez able to make the pass as he goes into turn number 3.
We talked about how strong he's been for the last half a dozen races or so. Man, has he been good.
Daniel Suarez looking to lead laps here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
He has 4 top 3 finishes in the last 5 races, and the one he didn't get a top 3 finish, he was running first or second and had an engine problem on the road course.
Yeah, after Columbus getting that first win, it seems as though the momentum has been on his side. Back 4 position, the 26 of Dylan Presnell and the 77 of Austin Self.
Yeah, Austin's done a real nice job in a handful of ARCA starts this year. He's made 6 starts, has 2 top 5s and 5 top 10s in the ARCA series.
Here comes Brett Moffitt and McKenna Bell. McKenna Bell to the inside, Brett Moffitt on the outside. McKenna Bell's going to make an impressive pass on Brett Moffitt.
Boy, we've just watched her confidence grow as the course of this season has gone here. We mentioned earlier, great top 5 run last time out at Greenville, and solid here.
Continues to mature as a race car driver. McKenna Bell up in the top 5.
See Brett Moffitt now, he knows that Dylan Kwasniewski has had a problem. He's in the garage area, so now is the time to try to take advantage of it point-wise.
Needs a strong finish today. Suarez in front of Cale Conley. Now Matt Tift to the inside of Austin Self.
The 97 of Jesse Little going to jump in the back of that battle. Now he's going to get a run on the inside of Matt Tift in the 89.
Little has the preferred line now on the inside, as Matt Tift will have to move out another line.
Speeds upwards of 150 miles an hour in these cars down the straightaways, Rick.
Pretty impressive as this group enters turn number 1. Battle continues between Jesse Little and Matt Tift.
They stay side by side. Jesse's a little bit easy getting in the corner. Ooh, right up against the 89 of Tift.
Drifted up just a bit higher through turn 1.
Good run off the corner for Jesse Little, but Matt Tift stays tough on the outside in the 89.
And Little is able to complete the pass. Now Cale Conley has all Cole Custer on his inside, looking to take that position away. Custer has made his way back up to second.
We know how good that 00 of Cole Custer was early on in that race. He faded a little bit right before the halftime break.
Looks like the right adjustments have been made for Cole Custer as he will try to chase down that 6 of Daniel Suarez.
Pretty good move by Cole Custer. Restarted back in the 5th spot, already up to second here in about 5 laps.
And putting some distance between himself and Cale Conley and closing that gap on Daniel Suarez.
You talk about this race a little bit past halfway, a long time to go, but 48 laps goes by pretty quick here at Loudon.
Gray Galding in the 20 in front of this 2-wide battle between the 26 of Dylan Presnell and the 11 of Brett Moffitt. Seemed like there was a tire issue with Cole Custer earlier. Derek, what's going on with that?
Well, guys, there's an interesting outcome to this race. The reason why Cole Custer started losing spots and slowly started falling out of the top 5 before the caution and the halfway break came was right here. See that little mark right there in the rubber? That's a hole in the tire. He had a tire slowly going down. It was affecting the handling of the car, and that's what was allowing him to lose position on the racetrack.
Yeah, it was surprising watching Cole Custer fall back. He actually fell out of the top 5 after having such a strong car.
Yeah, and he looks like he's got that car back now as it was at the beginning of that race. And, you know, we noticed that all of a sudden he had started going back, and that certainly makes sense, though. But how fortunate was he that that caution flag came out when it did?
Yeah, and he got the halftime break, so he was able to change the tires on that 00, and now it looks like a rocket once again.
And that 6 of Suarez also has a rocket ship here.
And a mirror full of that 00 of Cole Custer. Custer looks as though he might be looking to the inside of this 6 as they go into turn number 3.
He had a good run on exit of turn number 2. Allows him to pull up side by side. Meanwhile, another side by side battle. The 97 of Jesse Little, Austin Self in the 77.
Matt Tift looking from behind. See Cole Custer still looking to the inside of that 6 of Suarez.
Suarez had the nod at the start-finish line, but Cole Custer drives her hard down in turn number 1.
Has to get out of the gas a little bit sideways as they go through 1 and 2. Suarez holding strong on the outside.
See if Cole Custer can beat him down to the corner here, driving in just a little bit harder. Try to clear him. Wasn't able to do it that time.
And Suarez battling back on the outside now. Cole Custer back into the gas a little bit quicker than Suarez. Who will win the drag race to the stripe? Almost a dead heat as they cross the stripe that time.
You know, that 00 has been really, really good, but he's been driving the wheels off that thing. We've seen him sideways on exit of the corner. Right now trying really hard to get by that 6 of Suarez.
Suarez, the advantage as they come out of 2 and down the backstretch.
We saw the 00 down on the bottom of the racetrack. It's a little bit flatter down there, a little bit harder to get the power down. Now he moves back up behind the 6 of Suarez.
So Daniel Suarez holding on to the lead here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway. More green flag racing when we return. Once again in the North American Power 100. Just 27 laps to remain. The reason for the caution coming out, an issue with Brandon Godovic and Clay Campbell.
Gee, the exit of turn number 4 looks like Brandon Godovic gets turned around there. Clay Campbell, with nowhere to go, makes slight contact with the 46 car.
Got caught up in it, so those two cars have righted their ships, ready to get back underway. 2 by 2 we go once again. Cole Custer on the inside of Daniel Suarez. Green flag back in the air.
Boy, it almost looked like that 6 car of Suarez was smoking a little bit on this restart.
And we'll see if he still has the power as he battles to the outside of that 00 of Cole Custer. Through 1 and 2. Now Custer with the advantage as they come down the backstretch.
A good run off the corner for Cole Custer, but Suarez fights back and 3 wide back in the pack.
How about this? Greg Golding on the inside of that 3 wide. Still a battle for the lead. Cole Custer on the inside. Looks like a little contact with Suarez. Suarez out front.
See how hard it is for that car to stay down on the bottom. It just wouldn't stay there. He had to slide up the racetrack, make slight contact with Suarez.
Daniel Suarez back out in front. Cole Custer tucks back in behind him. Cale Conley running in the 3rd spot.
Suarez did a nice job of keeping that 00 pinched down on the flatter part of the racetrack.
Jesse Little just in front of Matt Tifft and Austin Self. Here comes Kinsey Ruston in the 34.
Remember, Kinsey was a lap down at one time. She got back on the lead lap now, trying to make her way back towards the front.
And 3 wide it is. Kinsey Ruston on the inside. Matt Tifft in the middle. They're 3 wide as they come to the stripe. Oh, contact's made. Into the wall goes the 34 of Kinsey Ruston. And Kinsey into the inside wall as well.
Boy, tough break for Kinsey Ruston. It looked like she was moving up the racetrack, Rick. You know, it's easy for a driver to know when somebody's beside you. It's not that easy to know when there's a 3 wide situation. She was on the bottom of 3 wide. See the 39 also, Corey Joyce, making his first start with a lot of contact. I just don't think that she knew she was 3 wide, and I'm not sure that her spotter told her she was 3 wide.
A lot of damage to the 39. Extensive damage to the 34.
See Matt Tifft, the 89 car, also with some damage.
What a disappointing end to the day for that 34 of Kinsey Ruston after bouncing back from a penalty early on, having to serve the pass-through. And now this is the way it'll end.
You see her moving up the racetrack. She's well on the straightaway, so it wasn't a situation where her car was pushing. She had to chase it up the hill. She just did not realize that there were 3 wide there, and she had 2 cars above her.
And we saw Corey Joyce. It looked like he was venting his frustrations a little bit with Matt Tifft, probably thinking that Matt Tifft ran him into the wall, but Matt had seen the 34 of Kinsey Ruston coming up. He was moving to try to get out of the way of her. He had nowhere to go either.
Yeah, he was doing all he could do to try to give her some room. Unfortunately, the 39 was there. It was just a situation where it was a tough break. Kinsey didn't realize that they were 3 wide, and that's the 2nd car out of Turner Scott Motorsports to have severe damage today, along with the 98 of Kwasniewski's.
Destroyed is that 34 of Kinsey Ruston. So the field now back in line 2 by 2. Cole Custer and Daniel Suarez once again at the front of the field.
47 of Cale Conley, the 26 of Dylan Presnell back in row number 2.
Are you surprised that Daniel Suarez chose the outside line?
I like the way he's been able to pinch the 00 down, but the problem is if you do that and the 00 gets loose on the bottom, then he may take you out, though. So I think it's a good move by Suarez, but he has to be very, very careful.
We'll see how he does on this restart as the pace car will make the hard left turn onto pit road, leaving the field back in the hands of Suarez.
Remember, the modified race ran with Hoosier rubber right before this race, so it took a while to wear that Hoosier rubber off. Now we'll see what we got here for these last few laps.
Green flag back in the air. Once again, it looks like smoke coming out of that 6 of Daniel Suarez on the restart.
Doesn't appear to be hurting the performance of that car, but hard down in the corner goes to 00, and he pushes the 6 up the racetrack a little bit.
Way up the racetrack goes that 6 of Daniel Suarez, 3 wide behind him.
Great run off the corner by the 20 of Greg Gaulding. Cale Conley, the 47, is going to try to keep him pinched down.
Ben Rhodes in the 41 on the outside. Suarez able to get in front of that 00 as they go through 3 and 4.
Look at that run through the center of the corner that the 00 gets. You see Cale Conley sideways behind them.
Fighting for that 3rd spot. Dylan Presnell has the position. Here comes Cale Conley looking to the inside.
Another outstanding run for the 41 of Ben Rhodes. Last time out, he finished up in the 6th spot at Greenville.
There's the gap between 1 and 2. Daniel Suarez has a car linked over Cole Custer. Presnell back there in 3rd. Cale Conley in the 4th spot. The battle for 5th continues. Greg Gaulding trying to take it away from Ben Rhodes.
Gray does get the edge at the exit of turn number 4. Is able to pull up in front of the 41 of Ben Rhodes.
A couple rookies battling it out there. Jesse Little in the 97. Back behind them in the 7th position.
Could be a career best finish for Dylan Presnell. 7th right now is his best career finish. He did it a couple years ago at Greenville.
Laps continue to wind down. Next time by it'll be 15 to go, but Cole Custer all over the back bumper of Daniel Suarez. How do you set a driver up here to get by?
Just drive her down hard and try to move him up the racetrack. He's not far enough up beside him now to move him up the racetrack, but that 00 is so good center to exit of the corner.
We'll see if he can take advantage of that machine as the battle continues. He'll look to the inside once again as they go into 3. Drives it hard down into turn number 3. Still can't get that right front quarter panel to the left rear of the 6 of Suarez.
Cole's shown a lot of patience, though, not driving that car down in there side by side with him. He just tries to beat him off the corner, and he did that time.
That time into turn number 1 has the advantage. Moves up the racetrack. The 6 way wide now as Cole Custer takes the lead back from Suarez.
And he's able to clear him, too. Cole Custer with an outstanding pass on Suarez.
Textbook pass by Cole Custer to get back in front of the field here. Daniel Suarez back to 2nd.
It's going to be a little bit too late. I think the 00 has the best car right now. I'm not sure that the 6 is going to be able to catch him.
Cole Custer already 2 car lengths separating himself in 2nd place. Daniel Suarez. Cole Custer started on the pole. Can he go to victory lane again? Welcome back. Laps winding down. The North American Power 100 led by the 00 of Cole Custer.
He has the fastest car. He's opened up his lead over Suarez, and he was sideways on exit of turn number 4.
Already 6 lead changes between 5 different drivers. Cole Custer holding on to the top spot right now.
Has a great car. It's not going to be quite as easy as it was at Iowa when he led wire to wire. He's had to battle back here from some adversity. Had that tire going down right before the halftime break.
And showing such maturity. We've got to remind people he's only 15 years old as Cole Custer. He can't even drive on the roads once he gets done with this race.
But it's already been announced that he's going to run some truck races next year, too. He's going to move up here. The ladder system in NASCAR is working.
Dylan Presnell in the 26 in front of Greg Gaulding, another 15-year-old in that 20. Less than 5 laps remain from New Hampshire Motor Speedway.
An outstanding run here for Dylan Presnell. Really the best run he's ever had in his career. Greg Gaulding, we're used to seeing him run up in the top 5.
Greenville Pickens back in 2011, the best finish for Dylan Presnell, where he ended up in the 7th spot. And now holding on to that 4th position, just in front of Greg Gaulding. Under 4 laps to go.
See, Cale Conley has chased. Ooh, Ben Rhodes on the inside of Jesse Little for a moment, got sideways.
Jesse Little able to get in front of Ben Rhodes now.
And that Ben Rhodes has been very, very impressive. Just a handful of starts. He's only made 5 previous starts. 4 of those he finished up in the top 10.
And looking good here once again.
A little bit of overheating on that 97 car, Jesse Little. You see the steam coming at the base of the windshield on the passenger side.
Will it hang on for the final 3 laps? Cole Custer's hoping it does. He doesn't want to see a caution come out now and have to battle the restart once again.
Oh, he wants this thing to go green all the way here. He's got a comfortable lead right now over Suarez in the 6 car.
2 more times around for Cole Custer. Cale Conley looking to the inside of Daniel Suarez for the 2nd spot.
Suarez drives it hard down in the corner. Cale Conley gets a good run through the center of the corner, trying to pull up even with him on exit.
And just in front of them, you see Cole Custer went out of the picture. Oh, caution comes out. It's the 77 of Austin Self. Big hit into the wall.
Wow, tough break for Austin Self, but that's the last thing that 00 of Cole Custer wanted to see.
You know, I was watching them go down the backstretch, and just out of the corner of my eye, I was able to see that 77 slide across the front stretch and into that inside wall. It's good to see Austin Self climbing out of that 77.
Yeah, you can see the black marks where they go into the inside wall all the way from the outside wall. Going to take a few moments for a cleanup here, but Cole Custer now is going to have to do it on that restart like you were talking about, Rick.
It's going to have to be overtime. It looks as though the 77 just gets loose out of 4.
He was right in some heavy traffic. Couldn't see if there was any contact or not.
Into that inside wall, heavy contact with the inside wall. And we'll see if Cole Custer can do it one more time. Stay in front of the field. We'll be right back for the restart. Getting ready for our first attempt at a green-white checker finish for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East.
One of the most important restarts for these young drivers' lives here, right here. The 00 of Cole Custer and the 6 of Daniel Suarez. You see that smoke out of the 6 car once again.
Coming out of turn number 4. Cole Custer, race leader, will start this one. Green flag back in the air. Problems behind him. They spread out 3 and 4 wide.
You see a bunch of cars bouncing off each other. The 47 of Cale Conley did not get a good restart. Ben Rhodes, the 41 now, on the inside of a 3-wide battle.
Conley throws it in the middle, and that 47 is going to come out on the other end in 3rd.
Great move by Ben Rhodes to move up to the 4th spot. There's Jesse Little, the 97, trying to get 5th away from Dylan Presnell.
If we see the white flag, if the leader takes the white flag, the next flag will end this race. Cole Custer's going to see that white flag right now.
A lot of heavy racing there back at the start-finish line, side by side, almost 3 wide.
Cole Custer with a 4-car length lead over Daniel Suarez. What an amazing restart this young man had.
Really been a cool head this race. If he can get down one more half lap, he's got win number 2.
Phil, you mentioned it. In Iowa, he led every lap. It seemed as though it was easy. Not so here. He had to battle for this one. Coming out of turn number 4. Cole Custer's going to see the checkered flag. Cole Custer wins in New Hampshire.
See some contact back there for about 7th and 8th.
What a battle we had all over this racetrack today. And the point implications are going to come to play now as Dylan Kwasniewski was out of this race early. Those two put on quite a show today.
It looked like Suarez wasn't real happy with Cole Custer. I'm not sure what that was about. I didn't really see anything that Cole Custer did to make Suarez mad.
And so Cole Custer will make his way to victory lane. His crew chief also will be on his way. Let's hear from him. He's with Derek.
Well, Matt Gosselin is the crew chief for Cole Custer in the black 00, and can you believe it? 2 wins this year for your young driver.
No, like I said at Iowa, he just continues to impress me, and he's done a great job, and I just so excited. We bought a brand new car here, and we went and tested, and got him pretty pumped up, and he's done great. So.
We'll talk to you in victory lane.
Thanks, man.
Cole Custer picks up career win number 2 here at New Hampshire.
Anytime he starts on the pole, it seems like Cole Custer is going to make it to victory lane. How about his crew chief? That's pretty good sprint form getting over there to the car. Burn those cool. Tires down.
Pretty cool right there.
So Matt Goslant, a very happy crew chief, and the driver as well. Cole Custer leading 60 of the 105 laps in the North American Power 100. Celebration continues. We'll hear from him next. And welcome back. The North American Power 100 in the books. Cole Custer has made his way to victory lane. Cole Custer had to work for this one. He took the lead 3 different times. Now he's in victory lane.
Cole Custer picks up win number 2 of his career. He wins here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. There goes the ice water. Boy, that stuff is cold. The 15-year-old now has 2 NASCAR K&N Pro Series wins. Cole, congratulations, you win here today at New Hampshire.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome. All my guys are from up here, from Vermont and from New Hampshire and Massachusetts, so it's so awesome they really wanted to win this one. We brought a brand new car, and they did an awesome job. I mean, the car was just awesome, and I have to thank Gene Haas and Haas Automation, but, I mean, Suarez raced me really clean. I have to thank him, and I have to, I mean, just everybody. It was awesome.
Now, did you get nervous when you had the right rear tire going down and you fell behind a little bit?
Yeah, at first I didn't even know it was going down. I thought we just burned it off, but yeah, I mean, I was really nervous. I didn't know why we were going backwards, and I found out it was flat, so that was a sigh of a relief, but it was real hard to get back up there.
Little short on words, I understand, but what is it about these NASCAR venues that you run so well at?
I mean, our guys just do a great job. Weeder and Mig and Matt and Jamie and Steven and Roger, everybody just does a great job, and we bring great cars to the racetrack.
How cool is it to have the family here, too, as well, to see you win?
It's awesome. I mean, my dad's here, and it's just it's a dream come true, I guess.
Well, 2 big races and 2 big wins this year for Cole Custer in the 00.
And this one comes in front of a very impressive crowd, including Cup owners and nationwide owners, where he will be advancing to, I'm sure, shortly.
Yeah, exactly. Going to the Truck Series next year. Daniel Suarez with an outstanding job. Ben Rhodes again with another top 5. Dylan Presnell with a career best 5th.
Trey Hutchins back there in the 15th spot, that 15-year-old.
See Kenzie Ruston back in 20th. Had a good race car here. Unfortunately, hard contact with the inside wall.
Yeah, that vehicle is destroyed. A good battle for first and second. Daniel Suarez ends up in the 2nd spot. He's with Derek.
Well, with an engine starting to blow up, Daniel Suarez still comes home with a 2nd place finish. And how nervous were you that the engine was going to let go in those last couple of laps?
All the time, man, all the time. To be honest, first I was to say thank you to everybody in the Toyota Camry number 6 Acapulco. They did an awesome job. The chassis, the balance of the car was really, really good. To be honest, to finish in the victory lane, but since I told you yesterday, the engine was not that strong. I think everybody saw that the engine was getting problems, and the second half of the race, in the last 45 laps, the engine was really bad. I was just crossing fingers and try to don't blow up the engine. And with some luck, we finished in the 2nd position.
And Daniel Suarez led 39 laps. The points battle with just 2 races remaining. Kwasniewski now only 23 points in front of Moffitt.
Yeah, really right now, Brett Moffitt, the only guy with a shot at it inside of a 1 full race.
Let's hear from Cale Conley. He finished 3rd.
Well, Cale Conley comes home in the 3rd spot today. He had a really strong car, but you look a little frustrated. Why is that?
I just, you know, I feel like I gave that one away myself on those restarts. I made mistakes over and over and over, and I'm just confused. I feel like I've never really struggled on restarts, you know, off and on, but this today I really did. So I'll go back and learn and watch and see what I did wrong. But other than that, man, you know, thankful and everything for the chance to be here. 3rd's a good day, especially with the year we've had. I just really wanted to get that win for the guys. And, hey, without the man above and my family and the team, we wouldn't be here. So I'm, again, I always say it, I'm living the dream, and I really am. You can't beat New Hampshire. I mean, a great crowd, great race. It was on the toes. I was nervous. My heart was beating. So that's what we come to do. We come to have that adrenaline rush. And today was one for sure.
Good to see family and faith. Important for Cale Conley finishing 3rd. Next stop for the NASCAR K&N Pro Series East is a drive sober 150 from Dover International Speedway.
Yeah, Brett Moffitt's going to have to try to make a move quick here to catch that 98 right there of Dylan Kwasniewski.
The gap now just 23 points. 2 races remain in the 2013 season. Eddie McDonald, after leading up front, right front tire goes down. He was definitely a contender today, as was Daniel Suarez. But in the end, it was Cole Custer grabbing career win number 2 from New Hampshire Motor Speedway.